Hey everyone, Jeremy here. It is Friday night, Thursday night, not Friday night. It's not Friday yet. We got jumped the gun a little bit. It is Thursday night, and we are going to create some art. It's going to be awesome. I'm so looking forward to Friday. That's why I said Friday. But you spend some time on Thursday night with me, and then you wake up in the morning, and it's Friday. So, yay! So we are going to create some art tonight. It's going to be cool. We are. I think we're going to create like a colorful chimpanzee. Now, what do I mean by that? I've done a couple of drawings where I kind of did a like a scribble drawing in color pastels, and it comes out kind of cool. I thought I'd tackle a chimpanzee in that style and just see how it goes. So if that's cool with you, and you want to hang out with me for the next hour or so, hour and a half, feel free to hang out with me and chat. Otherwise, I'm just going to jump right in. Let's see. So I've already kind of made some marks on the paper to decide like where the chimpanzee is going to be on the page. So I'm just going to jump right in with my normal technique of just kind of sketching it out. I'm already one or two bourbons in, so we're gonna have a good time tonight. Yeah, good stuff. Um, Again, I think that the chimpanzee is going to be kind of like here. I'm going to start off with like a dark blue pencil on the black paper, just so that I can kind of keep it kind of subtle, my marks and stuff, until I kind of figure out exactly where I want this chimpanzee on the page. So as you can see, like I'll put in like a blue mark. It doesn't really show up very well, but that's okay because we're going to add more layers onto it. I just kind of want to know where things are. I think this is going to be the edge of the mouth. Um, I love chimpanzees. I've drawn a number of them over the months, and they're always fun to draw. They're like our distant cousins, and I feel like not so distant from some of my cousins. I'm just picking on my cousins here, um, but yeah, I think there's going to be like a hand that kind of comes down here. Now this is going to be rough for me because I'm not very good at drawing hands. So monkey hands, they're I don't know if chimpanzees are actually monkeys, but uh, they're kind of like human hands, and I kind of suck at doing human hands. So this may not turn out well, but I'm at least going to give it a shot. And again, I'm not shooting for detail here. I'm just kind of sketching out where I think things are going to be. Like I said, I think there'll be a hand here. Oh, we got some people in the room. Cool. Hey, Ryan and Rome Dog. I'm glad you guys showed up. I don't mind talking to myself, but it's a little awkward. At least like you guys don't say much in return, but at least I imagine that you guys are actually in the room so that I'm not talking to myself. I appreciate it. Um, hey, how's it going, Rome? Yeah, so let's see. I think this will be kind of cool when it's done. We'll see how it goes. One point, like you can see that this paper is kind of shiny. The reason why is because I did apply some clear gesso to it. And what that does is kind of give me this sanded texture that I can use my pastel pencils on really easily. Um, so a little technique I learned. I forget from where. I'd love to credit the person I learned that from, but I don't remember. But it has definitely made drawing with pastel pencils a lot easier, because if your paper doesn't have any tooth to it, it's not really going to adhere. So I think that's the basics of where my monkey head's going to be. So I'm going to switch to another color just so I can see it a little bit better. And I think that's going to be my technique here, is just kind of switching back and forth from different colors, um, just to bring this monkey out on the page, or chimpanzee. Again, I don't know if they're actually monkeys. Don't like. This isn't a zoology show, guys. I think chimpanzees are monkeys, or maybe they're apes. Oh yeah, all right. I did learn this at one point. So apes, chimpanzees are apes. There we go. I shouldn't call them monkeys. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. They're apes, because they don't have tails. I don't know the difference. Rome Dog says, I might have to bug out in 25 minutes. I got to help a guy with the car. Hey, that's cool. Handle your business, man. We're just hanging out, super chill on a Thursday. I am looking forward to this weekend. It's going to be cool. Um, there's a festival going on in my neighborhood. It's called the Festival of the Horse. Um, it's kind of this lame little small town thing, but they always bring out horses for it, and they have like a parade and everything. So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing that. And also, I'm looking forward to Beetlejuice this weekend. That's actually the big highlight of my weekend. I've been waiting on this Beetlejuice movie for a while. I don't even care if it does I don't even care if it's all that great, you know? Like I can't imagine it being as good as the original. So I'll accept I don't know, almost as good as the original or like passable or something. I'll accept all of those. Just the fact that they made a Beetlejuice movie after all these years. Um, I'm not one for like nostalgia baiting all the time. Like I feel like they shouldn't just kind of revisit the well every time. But if they are going to revisit the well, I'm glad that they did with Beetlejuice because um, I'd rather see a Beetlejuice reboot than say Ghostbusters reboot, which you know some of the Ghostbuster reboots aren't that bad, but they haven't been that impressive either. I'm hoping that Beetlejuice is as good as the Ghostbusters reboots, and that's not a high bar. I feel like I feel like that'll be okay. At least it's not Bark Beetlejuice. Yeah. Hey Kevin, how's it going? And Packer Jack's in the house. So we are doing a like a colorful scribbled ape here. That's what we're doing tonight. Um, and I'm kind of like keeping it really loose. So like some of the pictures that I've done recently, I've been kind of like really highly detailed in those pictures. I really kind of just wanted to take this one a little bit loose. I don't know if it's going to be exactly the kind of scribble art that I usually make, but that's kind of what I'm going for here. Just where I come in and just make quick gestures on the paper and hope that, you know, a recognizable ape comes out of it. Chimpanzee, whatever you want to call them. I don't think they're technically monkeys. I think monkeys have tails. I don't know what the rules are. So this front end is going to be lighter. This is like his mouth area. So I'm going to go ahead and get that in a little bit. You guys may or may not be able to hear it, but that scratchiness of the paper, that's really where you get your ability to draw with these pencils. Because without that, it's too smooth for the chalk of the pastel to actually stick to it. There's gonna be like a little highlight on this nose here. Maybe like a little highlight on the brow. So how's everybody else's week gone? You guys have a good one? I think this week's gone pretty well for me. Not too busy. Well, it's always busy, but not too busy. Got a couple of projects done. There's some that I didn't finish. Might carry into the weekend, but that's okay. As long as I'm on track, I think. This is a little bit harder than drawing a kitty cat. Like a kitty cat's pretty straightforward. There's a lot of features on the chimp that are a bit difficult to get in. But I think I'm in the right range here. This is the nervous stage. I wouldn't call this the ugly stage because it's not really that ugly, but it's a nervous stage where I'm like, is this going to turn out right? So I wanted the nose to come across. Oh, kind of made that come down a little bit too much. Let me adjust this nose here. That's where the actual nostril should be, not here. Kind of blend that in a little bit. I think we're actually pretty good on the proportions here. It's just a monkey thinking. Not a monkey. He's not a monkey. I keep doing that. Yeah, he's an ape. Hey, okay, Larry. Glad you're back. Hey, kid. It says it's been going good. He's been working. Good to hear. Always nice to hear people are employed. We got fall coming up. Looking forward to that. There's a farm nearby that really does a lot of like agritourism during the fall season. So they have all their pumpkins out and they bring in kids and stuff where the kids kind of like learn what it's like to live on or work a farm. Um, they bring them in by the busload, and it's always cool to see because like basically it's like just pumpkins everywhere, and you just get the sense that fall's coming. Pretty exciting. Yeah. All right. I think I'm going to probably move it into a different color here before too long. I do think that I got the gist of what. Again, this hand's going to be tough. I'm not very good at drawing hands. Yeah. I just like scraping the paper when I'm doing these type of pictures, just kind of stabbing at it. I do like this look. I kind of go back and forth on a bunch of different styles that I like. This is one of my favorite ones. And I think it works best. I don't know. You probably do this with like black and white, but I think it works best with color just because it kind of looks like it's electric and vibrant. Yeah, that's looking pretty cool. Yeah, I am glad to see that you're back, Larry. We were concerned about you last week. Don't want to get anybody eaten by gators. Is anybody else going to go see Beetlejuice this weekend, or do you guys kind of feel like, it's Beetlejuice? I'm not, I'm not that interested. I think it looks cool. I think their casting on it's kind of inspired. I like that they have, uh, what's her name, Jenna Ortega, playing. I think it's Winona Ryder's daughter in this. I think that's kind of cool. As far as Michael Keaton goes, I mean, he looks the same. He does not look like he's aged any. Of course, he's all like covered in makeup and stuff. Oh, cool. Kid's gonna go see it. Nice. Yeah, all is right in the world now that Larry's back. We were really concerned about you, my man. Just because we know that you're down there in Gator Country. We just a little bit concerned there. Like I said, I used to live in Central Florida, and those gators, they do not respect boundaries. I'm surprised there's not more like attacks, to be honest. Like down in around Disney World. I know that Disney World itself, they kind of have gated off where it'd be unlikely that gators would get in there, but you never really know. I like drawing like this, by the way. I feel like a real artist when I'm holding the pencil to the side. It's almost like I don't know, like I don't want to promote gun violence or anything, especially not now, considering recent events. But how the gangsters like hold it to the side. I feel like that's how. I know I'm a dork, but I like holding the pencil to the side. It's kind of like a little bit of a stylistic thing. I feel like if you're going to be a true artist, you need to learn to draw like this instead of you can draw like this and stuff, but that's too precise. You need to be able to kind of hold your pencil this way, hold your paintbrush. I don't always do it, but it's kind of fun. I don't know why I give the example of like the not holding a gun that way. That's just that's not good. I apologize about that, but nah, I think that looks cool. Some highlights here in the nose. Again, one of the things I like about doing these type of pictures is you really can use whatever colors you want. It's all about the values. As long as you get the highlights right and the shadows right, It doesn't matter what color they are. For all we know, this this little guy is in like an alley or something, lit up by neon lights or something like that. That's what I like to think of whenever I'm doing one of these pictures. But I think this guy's going to work out. Feel a little bit more confident now that the highlights are in here. He's got like a little beard on his chin. Yeah, Beetlejuice, I think it's going to be great. Like, I don't expect much. You know how these sequels go, um, or these reboots. I guess I get no. This is a natural sequel. I don't even think it's a reboot, but it's hit or miss. Like, it could just be a bunch of nostalgia stuff where it's like kind of dumb. But I have high hopes for this one. Like I said, if it's even half as good as the Ghostbuster reboots, I'm happy with that because those weren't that bad. They're not the best, but they're not that bad either. I'm easy to please when it comes to movie. I think he's looking pretty cool. So I think I'm gonna do that this weekend. I'm gonna go to the Festival of the Horse and try to take some pictures, just because they have some pretty horses. Like I said, it's like a parade. They have booths and stuff, but they're all the lame small town booths. Like, it's hard to describe. Like, if you guys are used to going to like street fairs or something like that, you probably see like artist booths and things like that. These are all like 4-H booths and you know county extension office, those type of things that you get out in the country. So I'm not that excited about that stuff. But also, anytime they have these festivals, they have like the local craft beer places and stuff like that, and they allow you to drink on the street. That's really what it's about for me. You can have a beer and just walk around on the street. You can't normally do that. Get like an open container uh, citation or something. That's what I like about Vegas, to be honest. You can like go off and just have a beer and walk the strip. I like that kind of stuff. So you can see how I'm building this up, by the way. So I started with that dark blue just to kind of figure out where things are. Now I'm kind of building up, um, like highlights and stuff, like where his eyes would be, and where the sun is just, or I guess in this case maybe like moon or a street lamp or something like that. It's kind of catching his face or her face. I don't know. I don't know how to tell them apart from their faces. Got some wrinkles underneath the eyes. I'm getting that way myself as I get older, but chimpanzees, they come this way. So you got to get those saggy eyes in there. I'm surprised that more people don't have these kind of eyes, where they just kind of sag underneath. Because these are basically like, I mean, they are relatives. Pretty far back, but so the ear. I don't think I'm gonna do the entire ear because it kind of cuts off over here anyway. But like, I'll just do the highlights of the ear. I'm trying to avoid the hand because the hand scares me. I'm not very good at hands or ears. So I'm just not very good at portraits in general. I've tried several times, and sometimes I'm lucky enough to get a good portrait out of something. Um, but I do struggle with it. It's something that is not as doesn't come to me as easily as maybe drawing a dog or a cat or some sort of domestic pet. Um, so I do kind of struggle with that. And these chimps, they're so human in nature. I expect to have the same sort of issues here. I'm not saying I can't draw a person. I've drawn a couple of decent ones to be honest, but they're not my best works. It's something that I still have to practice. In fact, I need to get back to practicing that at some point just because it's kind of fallen to the wayside with all my forays into the animal kingdom. I do like the just this scribble effect, like just putting in lines like that. It creates this movement and this energy in the picture. Like if I was doing this in paint, I would be just kind of like, you know, just dragging the brush across the canvas. All right, so he does have here and an eyelash over or an eye, whatever eyelid. There you go. Back to that. I want to get overboard with this blue because I do want like the black to kind of stick poke through. Let's see. All right, let me stop trying to avoid this hand. Um, so I do kind of want to blend some of this stuff. So let me grab a blending stump. This one's probably fine. I think this will be easier if I give myself kind of some structure to this hand. I always like to pick challenging pictures, and this is definitely one of them because you got the ear, you got the face, and you got the hand in here. Um, I think I'll be able to pull it off, but you never really know. Um, this isn't the brightest that I'm going. There's going to be brighter layers over this, so I'll be able to get some features out of this. Let's see. So you guys looking forward to fall? I know that it's always tough to give up on summer, but I know that like just I don't know, there's something nice about having seasons. I know that some of you guys might live out in California. There's no seasons out there. Um, but for those of us who have seasons, it is kind of nice to have that transition. Like there is a point where, you, I mean, I don't know if I'm there yet. Like I think I'll miss this summer. I'm not ready to give up on summer yet. But there is a point where you do get where you're like, I've had enough of the hot weather. I've had enough of, you know, whatever it is. And I'm ready for cooler weather. I'm ready for like the fall leaves changing. I mean, at least where I live, we have leaves changing. Um, I'm ready for all that kind of stuff. I'm ready for the pumpkin spice. I'm ready for, Thanksgiving. I'm ready for football if you're into that. You know, there's something to be said about the seasonal transitions and moving into these sorts of things. I'm not sure I'm ready to give up on summer. In fact, I might go kayaking this weekend just because I'm not ready to give up on summer. Um, but also, yeah, okay. I think I'm getting there. All right, not a lot of definition in this hand, but I like that just by scribbling here, I've kind of developed. You've got the hand kind of coming up. You've got the thumb. It's almost like drawing an old man. It's almost like so these chimpanzees, they don't seem like they fit into their skin. Their skin looks so loose and everything. It really doesn't look like they belong. It's like they put on like a monkey suit. I know they're not monkeys. I get it. It's like they put on a monkey suit and it just doesn't really fit. They're apes. I looked this up the last time I drew one of these and I kept calling them monkeys. I can't get over that. I don't know what my problem is. So I like these quick gestures. So again, different drawing styles. This isn't my normal drawing style, but I do enjoy this when I come in and just kind of sketch out a creature. All right, so that looks pretty cool. Um, I think I'm going to go ahead and smooth out some of this stuff. I don't want to overdo it. I want it to look, sketchy, but I do kind of want to smooth out some of this stuff because I'm going to come over it with another layer here in a moment. And I want this to look a little bit smoother. Larry's Larry's ready for cooler weather. Yeah, if you live in one of those places where it's hot all the time, like Florida, hot and muggy, I can imagine you're ready for cooler air. But I think I'm ready. Not quite yet. I do want to. I feel like September is basically summer, at least around here. Around here, we don't really get that kind of fall weather until until October. October. It's so weird actually. In October, you depending on like whether you're where you're standing, you could either be boiling because you're like half your body's in the sun, or you could be freezing because the other half is in the shade, and it's that kind of extreme. Like there's been times around here in October where it's been as hot as any kind of summer weather. All right, so that's it for that blue for now. I think might come back and tinker with that a little bit more here in a little bit. Um, I'm gonna I'm gonna really quick put in like a little highlight on the little guy's eye, just so that we can definitely see some structure going here. And then I've got this lighter blue here. I'm going to work with that a little bit, and I'm going to kind of come in. And this, I think, I'm going to take a little bit of time. I still want it to look loose and and sketchy, but I want to take a little bit of time with the with my work on this layer because this is kind of like the detail layer. In some of my other drawings, the black and white ones and stuff, this is where I pull out the charcoal pencil and I take a little bit of time to kind of put in some details. In this case, or actually like when I'm doing like a black and white picture on black paper, white pencil, I take a little bit more time with the details. This is that layer, essentially. This is where the light's catching his face. You're starting to see some wrinkles up in here, some highlights kind of defining where everything is. But definitely some wrinkles. I hope that when I reach a certain age, I look like a chimp. That's my goal in life. I want to look like a chimp. Because like that's what really old people look like, right? I'm not talking about like, I don't know, in your 70s or anything, but when you reach a certain age, like 100 years old or something, they basically look like chimpanzees. That's that's probably not the best thing to say because like like if you I mean when you're 100 years old you just look like whatever you're lucky to look like anything to be honest, so you just go with it. But I think we start looking more like chimpanzees as we get older. One day I will look like a chimpanzee if I'm lucky. I'll be 100 years old drawing pictures of chimpanzees and I'll be like, wait a minute, this looks like a self-portrait. So one of the things that kind of sucks about this black paper in the clear gesso is that it's really reflective. So it's capturing, like, I've got some overhead lights in here, and it's really catching that. It kind of sucks because this looks really good in person, and unfortunately the light's catching it so that it looks a little bit too lit up, but that's okay. Ernest says, "Speak for yourself. You will not take after me." You already look like a chimp, so there. You look like a chimp. I was gonna say this. That definitely looks like some people in our family, Dad. You know it's true. They're all on your side too. They're not on Mom's side. Mom's side, they all look like normal people. This is definitely somebody from your side of the family. Ernest is my dad, by the way, so I like to pick on him. He deserves it. He knows what he did. Yeah. So the lesson here, in case you hadn't caught how it's developing, is if you put in these base layers, right? So like these base layers do not need to have any kind of real structure to them. Um, Lorraine says you guys are funny. Hi everyone. Hi Lorraine. Welcome. Um, the thinker thought, yeah, he's like thinking like the thinker. Famous sculpture by Rodin, one of my favorite sculptors, by the way. So the lesson here for people who are aspiring artists is if you can put in sketchings and stuff like that as your base layer, and when you come in and add these layers over it and stuff, that's really all you need to create like a really decent picture. You don't have to spend a lot of time on those base layers. They're just there to help reinforce these top ones. We're doing the time. See, we're only 30 minutes into this, and we've already got a little bit of a chimpanzee showing here. But I like doing these color pictures. So, like, obviously, a chimpanzee isn't purple or blue and these cool colors and stuff. Um, you know, I I should be using some browns and some warmer colors and stuff. But I really like this. I really like doing these type of pictures. I think they're fun. They're energetic. They make things look like they're electric. I would consider these my electric series if I had to name them something. Hey, Mama Q. I missed last time I was driving. Oh, that's okay. As long as I mean, any of you guys, whenever you're drawing, do not watch this show. I'm not driving. Whenever you're driving, do not watch this show. We record these. They're up there for whenever you're not driving. But I appreciate the that you guys care and that you guys want to watch it. But you can always wait till later. I don't even think this light blue is going to be the top layer. I think I'm going to add some layers on top of this. I've kind of been wanting to go to like an art gallery recently. I haven't been to one in a minute. I want to go up to Cincinnati. Cincinnati is about an hour and a half away from where I live. I want to go up there and go to the art museum because I haven't been all summer, and that's kind of like a summer thing for me. Is I go up there. So the art museum in Cincinnati is free, so that's great. Like it's a nice little day trip. Um, doesn't cost anything. You basically just pay for like lunch or something like that, and you're good, and your gas, of course. Um, so it's a nice little like day trip. But the other thing that's cool is the art gallery in Cincinnati is in this park. It's called Eden Park, if you're familiar with Cincinnati. And Eden Park also has like a planetarium. They have like a conservatory. It's great. So like a conservatory, for those who don't know, is like basically like a museum of plants. And theirs is really nice. It's a, I don't know, it dates back to the 1800s or something like that. It's been around forever. And it's really beautiful. And they have like tropical plants, they have like desert plants and stuff like that. But what I like about them is they have a really good collection of like bonsai trees. And I've always liked bonsai trees. Um, so I would love to go up there and see that. I don't know if that's this weekend that I'm going to do that, but it's definitely going to be soon and before the end of summer, which I guess technically is now. But I want to do that before it gets cold. So you see how I'm switching. So like I have this really light blue, but also I have this dark blue. I realize like the further I get away from this edge, I kind of want to go back into like the dark. And I wanted to get this chimpy has kind of like almost this crisscross sort of pattern to his face. Let me get that in there. So you go from like your lights into your darkers, and then you just kind of like let it kind of fade off. So even though like my reference photo, I could probably put more details in back here and stuff. I'm probably not going to. I'm going to let the light focus on his on like the front of his face and just let it be, I guess. Yeah, I was kind of joking about the gun thing earlier, and I felt kind of bad about that because like um, that school shooting, it's just terrible. It's been weighing on my mind. I was thinking about it lately. I looked up the statistics for like school shootings. It is it is an epidemic. I have no idea what anyone should do about that. I don't claim to like have any kind of solutions for anything. Um, and I'm hesitant to even talk about it because it's one of those touchy subjects that like a lot of people have opinions about. But for me, it's like I just wish that somebody in charge, somebody who does know what to do about these type of things, would just do it. You know, um, I felt like there's one of these like every couple of months, and it's just bothering me. So I apologize about making that gun joke earlier. It's poor taste. Now that I think about it, that's it. Sitting here drawing this, I can't help but think about like Planet of the Apes. Um, which I feel like the second Planet of the Apes was just because they wanted to see monkeys running around with guns. So there is that. I like his face. Looking pretty good, I think. That's a good series, by the way. Planet of the Apes. I went back recently and I watched the original one. Not the original one, but the original reboot ones. The one with crap, what's his name? The one that kind of like showed the origin of where Caesar came from. I forget the guy who was in that with them. But anyway, I went back and watched that. That's pretty good. That's a good series, you know. Like they did a good job on kind of taking because that story is old. That story was an old Twilight Zone story. And you know, they already made like a movie out of it one time, and I think maybe a couple off of that, but to be able to reboot it into like a you know, new franchise and stuff. That's pretty remarkable in my opinion. But I enjoy those movies. They're pretty good. So here I'm getting some of the fur into like this kind of beard here. But then I'm going to come back with this blue over it and, you know, just add a few little marks here and stuff to get some like highlights. Then kind of add a little bit of white to his beard, kind of like what I've got. Kid says weather was super nice here in the northeast Georgia mountains today. I can imagine. I love the mountains down there. In Georgia, going over into North Carolina, it's just beautiful through there. You guys have the best. All we have around here is like kind of foothills of like mountains. You went out to eastern Kentucky, there's some pretty big hills out there, but they're still hills. They're not mountains. I did remember to sharpen my pencils this time. I'm gonna screw that up. All right, we got a nice little chimp paste there. I think there might be some lighter areas right here. All right, so I'm pretty happy with the face for now. Not done with it, but I'm happy with it. I would like to, what time are we? Yeah, we're under an hour. I would like to move into this paw. I want a nice little monkey paw that we can make wishes on. I know chimpanzees are apes, but I want a monkey paw. So again, we're just dealing with the highlights here. So we already have a pretty decent base. By adding these highlights over it, I think we'll get some sense of a paw or hand without having to worry too much about my inability to draw hands. I mean, it's a chore, like drawing hands. Really, it is. It is not just an issue that I have. It is one that a lot of artists face. And to be honest with you, if you want to be a good artist, you really should practice these things. You should just sit down, whether you're on a live stream or not, and just draw hands for a while. Like I should come on here, like on some Saturday morning or something, and just draw a bunch of hands just to practice. Because the problem is that they're weird shapes. They are not normal shapes. So like if you're drawing a person's face, especially like a woman's face or something, you have these nice soft features and everything. It's a little bit challenging to draw like an old man's face, comparatively, but even that's easier than drawing hands because hands are just like these weird shapes. They're not things that you're used to drawing. They're kind of like all over the place. So I can draw a decent hand here, but it's very easy to make it look like it's something not hand-like, I guess. Like, I don't know. Like this thumb here. This thumb here could end up looking like all kind. I mean, it could end up looking like anything, like a shriveled up cucumber or something. That's probably a dumb example, but it is tough. So I think that my approach here is just going to be to draw highlights and then not have to worry about going too far into the weeds on the rest of the stuff. You can already kind of see where the hand is. So it's not like I have to spend a lot of time letting you guys know that this is a hand. Um, I've said what my philosophy is so much that you guys might actually have it memorized by now, but my art philosophy is that it is a communications um, like genre. I guess I don't know how else to describe it, but your job as an artist is to communicate things to people, and like at a broad level at least. And as long as you communicate what you want to communicate to people, you're good, right? And that could be whatever you want it to be. But in my case, I want to communicate that there is a hand here, and I am opting to do the minimal effort that I have to communicate that. And then once I have that communicated, like once you see that it's a hand, I'm done. I'm not going to tinker with it too much more. just because like it's not my strong suit. But yeah, so like as an artist, your job is to communicate, and the minimal viable product here is to communicate that there is a hand here, a monkey hand, chimpanzee hand, well, with fingers that you can wish upon. You guys ever? Yeah, never mind. The whole monkey paw wish thing. But it's actually not that difficult if you take that approach. So like you have these like little areas here that are caught in the light. They're kind of highlighted. They're almost like leathery. There's some texture there. So that's really what I'm choosing to draw. I'm choosing to draw the leathery texture look. And then I don't have to worry about whether or not the hand looks mangled or anything like that. Let's switch. Remember to switch to these other darker colors through here. So you got this finger here. Make sure that's found. That's the thing about the fall, like the weather being super nice. You don't usually hear people say the weather was super nice during the summer. If so, it's definitely one of those nice cool days during the summer. But mostly whenever somebody says the weather was super nice, it's either spring or it's fall, one of the two. So we're back into the weather was super nice type times. And then of course winter is coming. Winter is going to be like, oh, it's so cold today. But that's okay. It's all a cycle. We'll come back around at some point. It's, that Earth keeps revolving around the sun. Makes you wonder what it's like on like other planets. Um, for like a year to go by. Like I don't know, like on Mars, for example. Mars, you have years and stuff, but you don't really have like seasons, I don't think. Well, you kind of have seasons, sorry. You have seasons because there's times when the planet is closer to the sun than not. Let's kind of blur that in a little bit. Um, but it's not like you have the corresponding weather. It's not like you're going to have like storms and stuff because it's spring or leaves changing because it's fall. I do like putting it. So I like putting in a layer, smoothing it out, or like blending it in, and then coming back and adding like little details over it. I think that really helps create realism. All right, so I think I'm going to work on this paw here, on this not paw, this thumbnail. That's literally a thumbnail. That's funny. I don't know why that's funny. That's not really funny. You know, I gotta be honest with you. This is looking like a portrait of a chimpanzee. You know, it's the wrong colors, obviously, because it's blue and everything, but you know, it's not perfect, but all the features are there. He's got a face, he's got hands, he's got a thumb. Like, I'm not an expert on anatomy or anything, but all the pieces are here. So I'm pretty proud of this so far. Not the best thing ever, but get some wrinkles up in here because like you know, when you move your thumb, it kind of, anyway, it wrinkles. There we go. It kind of distorts things. Kid says, looking great so far. I love the colors. Thank you. I appreciate that. I agree. All right. So I feel like this here probably needs a little bit of touching up, and then get like another layer going back here so that you know that there is an extra finger back here. So on chimpanzees, like all these body parts are called the same thing, right? It's called a hand. They're called fingers, I think. That's not like different, is it? I know shit about zoology. I really don't. I feel like I feel like I should go back to school to learn more about geology or zoology just because I'm doing so many wildlife pictures. Uh, I just like nature. I think that these things these animals look cool. I enjoy drawing them. I enjoy all the different shapes that they bring to the table. I really don't know much about the animals themselves, and that kind of sucks. Especially the ones that I keep drawing. Like this is not the first time I've drawn a chimpanzee. I need to do my homework on the ones that I repeat, at least. Just so that like, I don't know, like a kid comes in here, who's like trying to learn to draw or something. Maybe they might learn something about the animal kingdom or something. Bob Ross would have known what he was talking about. I did finally watch that Bob Ross inspired movie with Owen Wilson. It's all right. It's not the great. It's not that great. I thought it was gonna be better. It's all right. It's a movie called Paint. I think it's a Hulu original. Um, it's obviously like an indie film. It's not like a blockbuster or anything like that, but it's supposed to be a comedy. I didn't think it was that funny. It's okay. I like Owen Wilson, and it is definitely a Bob Ross inspired character, so that was fun. Okay, I think on the ear, it is catching that light a little bit, so I should really do something with that. Let me reach across my picture here. Um, some highlights going up in here. So if you're looking for a recommendation of a movie, it's not Paint. I thought it was going to be better, but it wasn't. My movie recommendation is Beetlejuice. Go watch Beetlejuice because I'm going to go watch Beetlejuice and it's going to be awesome. I think there's some other movies that are coming out soon that are supposed to be good too. That's the other cool thing about fall. It's like you get. I'm not a big fan of horror movies and stuff, but I am a fan of movies that are made cheap because like I don't know, they don't have to be like a summer blockbuster, and so the movie theaters like taking a chance by releasing them in fall. I am a fan of that. And that's a wide range of like genres. Like that's your horror films, that's your indie films, that's your sometimes drama films that like they think might do well, but they don't think it's going to be like a summer blockbuster or anything like that. I like those kind of films. I mean, it kind of looks like an ear. Let me smooth some of this out. I'm not a very good ear maker, but we'll make this work. Uh, these chimps have a little bit different structure to their ears. Finally watched Fall Guy last night. It was I can't tell if you're saying if it. Oh, it wasn't terrible. Sorry. On my screen, the little heart thing was covering up the wasn't. I couldn't tell if you said was or wasn't. It had decent music. Yeah. Like I, that is one that wasn't on my radar, but that is one that I wouldn't mind seeing. That's Ryan Gosling, I think, and you know, he usually does pretty good movies. I think was it Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds' wife is in there as well. So I don't know too much about that film. Is it related to the Fall Guy TV series at all, or is it like a standalone thing that has nothing to do with that? That was my curiosity when that came out. I had forgotten all about that movie. So I know there were like Lee Majors, I think. There was a Fall Guy TV show back in the day, and I was kind of curious when that came out if that was like a continuation of that or if it was something totally different. He's got this wispy, wiry hair up here. All right. So I feel like this is looking pretty good. I want to introduce some other colors just because that's kind of my thing. Uh, so I want to kind of, these are still cool colors, like this pink I'm introducing, but it starts to kind of move it in the other direction just a little bit. Fresh shout out, Jeremy. Hey, Coop Art. Nice to see you again. I appreciate you stopping in. I love all the new faces that have been popping in recently. I appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Um, I would do this whether anybody showed up or not. In fact, like when I first started tonight, I wasn't sure anybody was showing up, but um, it definitely helps when people do show up. I appreciate it. Oh, Lee Majors had a cameo. Okay, so it was related to that. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I was kind of curious about that when they first mentioned it. So that's cool. Yeah, I'll definitely check that out. Is that out on streaming yet, or is that something that I'd have to hunt down? I like these pinks. I don't know why I like these color combinations. It's the blues and the purples and the pinks and stuff. Um, but it looks cool to me. I just love these colors together. I'm not a big color guy. Like most of my pictures that I do, because I'm still kind of like struggling with color, or not struggling really, but like just learning color in general, like learning what colors work together and stuff. Um, most of the uh, most of the pictures I do are black and white, but whenever I do dabble in color, I love these colors. Thanks. Yeah, I was curious about that too, Lorraine. Lee Majors is still alive. You always have to double check nowadays. You know who's apparently still alive? William Shatner. That's crazy. That guy, I don't know. Clint Eastwood is still alive. He's 93, I think. I saw a picture of him recently on Reddit. I'm surprised he's still around, but he's looking all right for a 93-year-old man. If I make it to 93, I want to look just like Clint Eastwood and also a chimpanzee. I want to look like a chimpanzee and Clint Eastwood. I want to look like crap. That was an orangutan. Never mind. Clint Eastwood was in that movie with an orangutan that one time. That's what I want to look like when I get older. When I grow up, I want to be an orangutan. So again, the whole reason why we add this clear gesso that makes it so shiny and stuff is so that we can build up these layers. Without the clear gesso, I probably could get in, 2 or 3 layers and stuff, but there is going to be like an upper limit. Um, but with this, hello, dog. Dog wants to say hi. Hello, you say hi to everybody. You see the monkey I'm drawing? What do you think? You like the monkey? No, you're the monkey. You got bad breath. You need to go take a breath mint. Don't you laugh at me. Go suck on that breath mint. What do you call a flying chimp? Oh, you watched it on Peacock. That's the one channel I ain't got. I got everything else. That sucks. Everything's on Peacock these days. What do you call a flying chimp? I feel like there's a punchline coming. I don't have AMC and I don't have Peacock, and I feel like all the good stuff is being released on those two now. I've got everything else. I got like Hulu, I've got Disney, I've got Netflix, I've got Amazon Prime, but everything's on Peacock. That's like the NBC streaming channel too. Thwarted yet again. Again, you see how I'm holding this pencil? I just want to point that out. It's one of those like pretentious, lame things, but I think I think it adds to the drawing experience to draw like this. Like you don't have to draw like this, obviously, but like if you do draw like this, you look cool drawing like this. Now, a lot of times when I draw these type of pictures, I'm doing it really quickly. I'm just scribbling and stuff like that. I feel like I'm taking a little bit more time with this one and a little bit more care. And that's mostly because I'm unfamiliar with some of the shapes I'm dealing with here. It's completely because I'm not comfortable versus like a cat that I drew one time where I'm just scribbling all over the paper because I feel totally comfortable drawing a cat versus a chimpanzee. Yeah. Oh, sorry, I missed the what do you call a flying chimp? Chimpanzee. a hot a hot air baboon. Okay, I get it. It took me a moment. A hot air baboon. That's great. Poker face on a peacock is great. I need to watch that. Yeah, I just need to get Peacock, I guess. If all you guys are watching Peacock, then that's the one channel I need to get just so that I can talk with you guys. I want to be cool like you guys are. Gotta keep up with the Joneses. All right, so I like that color. That's all looking good. Now I want to introduce some warm colors, just so that they're in here. So I do have like this kind of yellow and stuff, and I am kind of curious how that's going to look. And you gotta wait, buddy. We're not done yet. Still got maybe 10, 20 minutes left. So just a little bit of warm color, I think goes like a long way. I think I'll add some other colors to this as well, but this is where I kind of get a little bit loose with things just because I'm a little bit more confident in where everything is. Nothing's really going to be changing too much on the paper now. Get some highlighted fur in here that's just kind of straggly and a little bit all over the place. Peacock will occasionally get stuff, but not often. Oh. Um, you guys remember that show Monk that was on USA? I was recently watching that and just going back and rewatching it. And I love Monk. Tony Shalhoub is just a master. Um, and they mentioned like there was a Monk movie that is on Peacock, and that's really what got me thinking about like, man, I'm missing out here. But yeah, I finished up watching Monk. Started watching Psyched. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that show or not, but that's a great one too. The Monk movie was good. I see. I'm missing out by not having Peacock. Like I would have thought they would have put that up on like Amazon or something like that. I'm surprised that's on Peacock because like USA, I wouldn't have thought had anything to do with it. But yeah, I would love to see that. I haven't seen that yet. Um, like I said, I'm I'm rewatching Psych now because Psych is just hilarious. That's a good show. I don't care how old you are and stuff. Like maybe some of these shows are for older people. Like they did come out a while back and they were on USA. Um, but I don't care. A little chest hairs in here for this guy. I don't want to go too far with this orange. I just want it to be kind of like an accent color because it looks really good with these other colors. And I might actually use a little bit of green too, just to have it. Oh shush, you have nothing to say. Go take a breath mint. If you took a breath mint, maybe people want to listen to you. Yeah. Do they have doggy breath mints? I need to get some for my dog. What do you call an angry chimp? Oh, I'm gonna enjoy this one. What do you call an angry chimp? Kind of like that hand. That hand's looking okay. It's not the best thing in the world. A Furious George. Ah, I love it. I remember the Curious George books. Those were great. That's pretty good actually. An angry chimp is a Curious George. Kids got the best jokes, by the way. For those who don't come in all the time, kids got the best jokes. Packer Jack, who stops in now and then, has the best one-liners and the best dad jokes. You know, the little quips, I guess. He's got the best ones of those. All right. So I'm coming back with the white now, just because like I think we are on the topmost layer. I just want to kind of redefine some of these areas. And really solidify this. So like a lot of times when I draw these, they're more scribbled than this one is. I don't know how I feel about that. So like I kind of like the scribbled look, but I do kind of like the more refined look of this as well. So I don't feel too bad about it. Like I would have probably preferred it to look more like my other ones, just so that I have that kind of consistency. But also, I'm not hating this at all. This is chill out, dog. Um, I really like this actually. Looks like a chip to me. Q and Larry have jokes too. Yeah, that is true. Q's got some really good ones. Larry's are he'll drop them on you out of the blue and stuff. That's what I like about his. They're like joke bombs. All right. Yeah, I think honestly we're getting pretty close to done. I know it's a little bit earlier than usual, but just because of like the style of this, I'm not really sure where else I can go. So we might have an early one tonight, guys. But that's cool, like every now and then. I think that hand looks okay. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not very used to doing hands. There we go. Yeah, I'm not used to doing hands, but I think that works. He is like the thinker here. Stop monkeying around, kid. We know you got more jokes. I love it. Let's see. Yeah, guys, I think that we're pretty close to being done here. Just because I don't want to overdo it. I like the style of this where it's kind of you know, it still looks sketched. It's not it's not overworked. So I think I'm probably gonna wrap this up soon. But that's cool. Get an early start on your weekend. By the way, you right turn Clyde. Hmm. Um, you guys came up with some great names for the ferret the other day. I am going to have you guys name this guy as well. I think Just Dave had probably the winner. Um, like they're all good, but Just Dave's Ferret Bueller, that's kind of inspired. So I'm going to leave you guys to come up with a name for this guy as well. Um, Mr. Chimpanzee with a little bit of color to him. Color looks great. Thanks. I appreciate it. I kind of like this guy. Um, some like random highlights on some hairs through here. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I like doing these type of pictures where it's just like catching the light on the animal. Of course, I went colorful this time, but it could just as easily have been black and white. Um, but yeah, I think the only thing that I would do differently is like, I don't know, fix up that hand a little bit. But anyway, I think that the chimp is basically done. There's I'm not sure what else I would do with without overworking it. There's probably some touch ups here and there. Oops, go back to that. Didn't want to use that pencil anyway. There's probably some touch ups that I can come back to here and there and stuff, but I'm gonna leave that for like the. I like to take a look at the picture and just kind of think about it for a little bit, and then kind of tinker with it a little bit after I've given it some thought. But I think we're what do you call a little monkey? Oh, I gotta hang around for this one. I gotta hear the this joke. What do you call a little monkey? Like a little bit more fur through here. So the focal point is through here, obviously. So those are the parts that I want to make sure have enough detail to draw your eye. They're rendered. By rendered, I mean that, like, they're kind of smoothed out. You see all the different features. All of this stuff back here, I don't, that can be rough. That I like that kind of contrast. Um, I've talked in the past about how to draw somebody's eye through the picture, and the best way to draw somebody's eye through the picture is by providing contrast between different parts. This part being more detailed and more rendered, definitely creates a contrast with these parts back here that are just kind of sketchy. And, you know, by contrast, you might argue, got to grab my pencil that fell down there. You might argue that this parts back here are kind of phoned in, but they're meant to be. They're meant to look like that. What do you call a little monkey? A chimp off the old block. Ah, that's great. I love it. All right. So I am going to go ahead and call this done. Hopefully you guys enjoyed hanging out with me tonight. I know it's a little bit shorter than usual by maybe about 10 to 20 minutes and stuff, but I think that's fine. I don't want to overwork a picture just to because I'm enjoying my hanging out with you guys. I think that I think this one's pretty good. Um, I, you know, I for this type of style, I would like to have like some more wispy kind of like lines kind of going all over the place. But it's hard to do that with a chimpanzee because they have very smooth features. Like their hair is slicked back, you know. They don't have like fur going all over the place like a cat does or a dog or like a long-haired dog. Um, so you're kind of like forced to be a little bit constrained. That said, I think this is nice. Yeah, I think this is a yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. But you can see the dogs are going crazy. So I think I'm going to wrap this up. I don't really want to overwork it. But I appreciate you guys hanging out with me on a Thursday. Again, the best things about Thursday is you go to bed, you wake up, it's magically Friday. So I would take a Thursday. I would take a Thursday evening over a Friday morning anytime because there's like hope for the future. There's hope for the weekend and all of that stuff. It's great. So I'm glad that you guys hung out with me. I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and I hope that you guys have a great weekend. Let me go ahead and go back to this. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I will be back on Tuesday. I don't know what I'm going to work on. At some point, I have to finish up Ben and Ashley's pictures, so I might work on that a little bit over the weekend and finish that up on Tuesday. But we'll see. I make promises. Well, I try not to make promises. I have an idea of what I want to do, and then it just doesn't happen. So we'll have to see. But anyway, I will definitely see you guys on Tuesday. So I look forward to seeing you guys then. Have a great weekend. Bye. Thanks, everyone.